You walk away from the interaction and your chest feels heavy, a physical weight pressing down on your lungs. You can't quite articulate what just happened. They didn't raise their voice. They didn't throw a punch. They didn't even use a word you could flag as abusive, yet you feel depleted, hollowed out, as if a siphon was attached to your soul while you were busy nodding and smiling. You replay the tape. I'm just trying to help you. You're reading too much into it. I'm the only one who is honest with you. It sounds like friendship. It mimics the cadence of care. But the aftertaste is bitter. It tastes like arsenic. We all know this archetype, the manager who praises you in public but buries you in paperwork. The lover who rewrites history until you doubt your own sanity. The sibling who wraps their envy in backhanded compliments. They are the grand masters of emotional attrition. And the reason you are constantly retreating, constantly apologizing, constantly losing is fundamental. You are abiding by the Geneva Convention. They are engaged in guerrilla warfare. You are trying to use logic and compassion to resolve a dominance hierarchy. You are bringing a peace treaty to a shootout. As long as you cling to that strategy, you remain prey. You remain the fuel source they burn to keep their ego warm. But what if you change the frequency? What if you stopped striving to be nice and started striving to be formidable? What if you could stare into the abyss of a manipulator's eyes and make them blink first? What if you could neutralize a verbal assault without uttering a syllable? What if you could engineer their own traps so that when they lunged at you, they fell into a pit of their own making? This is not about becoming a monster. It is not about adopting their cruelty. It is about understanding the physics of power. 5 centuries ago, a Florentine diplomat named Niccolò Machiavelli penned a manifesto that sent shivers through the spine of the civilized world. He didn't write about the world as it ought to be in Sunday school. He wrote about the world as it is in the trenches. He stripped away the velvet drapes of aristocracy and revealed the rusty, blood-stained gears of human nature. He taught that it is safer to be feared than loved, if one cannot be both. He taught that he who controls the perception controls the outcome. Today we are going to perform surgery on the modern toxic dynamic using Machiavelli's scalpel. We are going to deconstruct the Predator's Handbook chapter by chapter. I am going to equip you with 7 psychological instruments. They are heavy, they are cold, and they are precise. Most people will never touch them. They are too terrified of being labeled difficult. They are addicted to the martyrdom of the moral high ground, even as they are being decimated in the valley below. But you are watching this because you are finished with the bleeding. By the end of this broadcast, you will not just survive the narcissist. You will confuse them. You will dismantle their hold on your psyche. You will become what Machiavelli termed the prince, sovereign, strategic, and impenetrable. Let's begin. Before you can conquer the adversary, you must diagnose what you are facing. You believe you are dealing with a complex human being. You aren't. You are dealing with a glitch, a corruption in the human code that mistakes domination for intimacy. Machiavelli wrote, "Men are so simple and so ready to obey present necessities that he who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived." It sounds bleak, it sounds cynical, but when facing a toxic entity, it is merely a weather report. The primary error you make is mirroring. You project your own soul onto them. You think, if I explain my pain, they will stop. If I show them vulnerability, they will protect it. You assume they run on the same operating system. They do not. A toxic individual does not view a relationship as a mutual investment. They view it as a mining operation. Your joy, your anger, your confusion, these are commodities. When you defend yourself, you aren't clearing the air. You are feeding the beast. When you cry, you aren't eliciting sympathy. You are proving their impact. They are addicted to relevance, and nothing makes a small person feel larger than the ability to ruin your day with a casual remark. The transformation starts now. You must execute the pleaser inside you. That fragment of your personality that is desperate for harmony. That fragment that needs to be liked. That fragment is a security breach. It is the handle they grab to drag you into the mud. You must replace the need for validation with the need for tactical advantage. The objective is not to be right. The objective is to be unshakable. The second you raise your voice, you have lost the exchange. The second you over-explain, you have capitulated. So, how do we seize the throne? We begin by becoming a void. Machiavelli noted, everyone sees what you appear to be. Few feel what you are. The manipulator relies on data. They need to map your triggers. They need to know where the buttons are located. They poke you to see where you flinch. If they know you doubt your competence, they will make jokes about your performance. If they know you fear rejection, they will withhold affection. They are drawing a map of your insecurities. Your counter move is to erase the map. In therapy, they call this the gray rock method. We are going to escalate it. We are going to apply Machiavellian nothingness. When they bait you, your instinct is to correct the record, to scream, "That is a lie." Don't. Instead, offer them a vacuum. When they throw an insult, look at them with the detached curiosity of a scientist looking at a bug. Blink once slowly and return to your task. When they try to induce guilt, say, "I see you feel that way," and let the sentence die. This is not passivity. This is aggressive silence. You are removing the oxygen from the room. Toxic people require friction to generate heat. If you become a ghost, they pass right through you and stumble. Let's simulate a scenario. A colleague, let's call him Steve, says during a briefing, "Must be nice to have a flexible schedule, unlike the rest of us grinding away." He wants the explosion. He wants you to stammer, "I was at a client meeting." He wants you to look unstable. The Machiavellian counter. You turn to Steve. You hold his gaze for 4 seconds. The silence thickens. It becomes suffocating for him, not you. Then you say evenly, "That is a fascinating observation, Steve." And you pivot back to the CEO and continue your report. What did you just achieve? You starved him. You made his aggression look petty and childish because you refused to lower yourself to catch it. You signal to the tribe that he is irrelevant. This is weaponized indifference. Intelligence is leverage. In a healthy dynamic, intimacy creates bonds. In a toxic dynamic, intimacy creates ammunition. Every secret you whisper, every fear you divulge, every vent about your spouse or your finances, it is being archived. Machiavelli advised the prince to keep his own counsel. A wise prince should never let his thoughts be known. You must master the art of strategic fog. Stop broadcasting your internal state. If you post that you are feeling unloved, the manipulator knows exactly when to deploy the love bomber. You must become a mist. When they probe, "How are things?" do not give them the raw data. Give them the boilerplate. "Things are good, steady, you know how it is." Be polite, be charming, but be opaque. This drives the control freak to madness. They cannot manipulate what they cannot measure. There is a principle in martial arts called Judo. In Judo, so you do not collide with the opponent's force. You redirect it. If they push, you pull. You can perform this linguistically. When a toxic person attacks, they anticipate resistance. They expect a no. What happens if you give them a yes? Not a yes to their demands, but a yes to their distorted reality. This is called fogging. Let's say a toxic relative says, "You are such a disappointment. You never visit the family." The resistance response leads to a 2-hour fight. The Judo response, "You're right, I probably don't visit as much as you would like." And then silence. Observe the mechanics. You agreed with the truth of their perception, but you accepted no shame. You're right. Those 2 words are kryptonite to a conflict addict. They are revving their engine, ready to crash into you, and you just open the gate and let them drive off a cliff. Machiavelli wrote, "Prudence consists in knowing how to distinguish the character of troubles, and for choice to take the lesser evil. The lesser evil is letting them think they won a verbal spar. The greater evil is losing your soul, trying to convert them. We have learned to stop the bleeding. We have learned defense. But survival is not the same as victory. In part 2, we pick up the sword. We have discussed presence, how to act when you're in the cage. But sometimes defense is insufficient. Sometimes the toxic person corners you. Sometimes you don't just walk away. Sometimes you must ensure they can never follow. Now we talk about the ultimate weapon, absence. Machiavelli said, absence diminishes mediocre passions and increases great ones. In the realm of toxicity, absence is both shield and sword. Supply and demand. If you are always available, you are cheap. If you are always there to be the punching bag, they will punch. You must engineer scarcity. This isn't just no contact. Sometimes you cannot go no contact, but you can go low contact. You can go emotional absence. Stop answering the phone on the first ring. Stop replying to texts within the minute. Stop attending every gathering out of guilt. When you withdraw your presence, you disrupt their algorithm. Where have you been, they will demand. Why are you ignoring me? Response, I've just been incredibly busy. How are you? Ambiguity plus absence. You are training them to understand that access to you is a privilege, not a constitutional right. And when they abuse that privilege, the access is revoked. Imagine you are a fortress. Pull up the drawbridge. They will howl from the other side of the moat. They will throw stones, let them. You are safe in it. Machiavelli knew that to rule, one must be independent. The more you need them, the more they can maim you. The less you need them, the more you become a phantom they cannot grasp. But sometimes they threaten what you hold dear. In those moments, you cannot be the ghost. You must become the lion. Machiavelli said, there are two ways of contesting, the one by the law, the other by force. Because the first is frequently not sufficient, it is necessary to have recourse to the second. Machiavelli wrote a line that is often quoted but rarely understood. Men ought either to be well treated or crushed, because they can avenge themselves of lighter injuries. Of more serious ones, they cannot. This is the most dangerous lesson and the most vital. Most people handle toxic behavior with half measures. You snap back a little. You make a passive-aggressive joke. This is a fatal error. When you inflict a light injury on a toxic person, when you just annoy them, you do not stop them. You motivate them, you trigger their vengeance circuitry. If you are forced to fight, you must end the conflict. You do not fight to hurt. You fight to neutralize. How do you crush a toxic person in the modern world? You do not use violence. You use the one thing they cannot survive: shame. Toxic people operate in the shadows of social politeness. They rely on the fact that you won't make a scene. Your move is to drag them into the blinding light. The technique is called the spotlight. When they make a snide comment disguised as a joke in front of an audience, do not laugh. Do not get angry. Stop the world. Look at them with clinical curiosity and ask, can you explain what you meant by that? Silence. They will try to scramble. Oh, I was just kidding. You're too sensitive. Do not let them wriggle free. Keep the spotlight fixed. I understand you were joking, but I don't get the punchline. Explain to me why that is funny. Now the room is dead silent. They are sweating. They have to either admit they were being cruel or say something incredibly stupid that reveals their incompetence. You have stripped away their camouflage. You have exposed the predator. This is a crushing blow because it destroys their social mask. A narcissist would rather be physically struck than be humiliated publicly. Another surgical strike is the documentation bomb. If you are dealing with a toxic boss or a manipulator in a legal setting, do not argue verbally. Switch to paper. Every conversation gets an email summary. Per our conversation, you stated X, Y, and Z. Please confirm. They will loathe this. When you present a stack of undeniable facts, you are not arguing. You are executing a checkmate. Machiavelli advised the prince to rely on his own arms. Your arms are your records, your facts, your reality. The toxic person's favorite weapon when they lose control of you is the smear campaign. If they cannot control you, they will control how others perceive you. They will paint you as the villain. How do you counter a smear campaign? Not by defending yourself. If you run around trying to disprove the lies, you look guilty. You counter it with consistency. You build a reputation fortress. Be so undeniably competent, kind, and stable with everyone else that the toxic person's lies sound insane. If Steve tells everyone you are an angry lunatic, but every other person experiences you as calm and professional, Steve starts to look like the liar. Do not mudsling back. If someone says, Steve said you were difficult, use the high road pivot. That's a shame he feels that way. I actually think Steve is very talented at sales. This confuses the messenger. Steve is spitting poison. You are offering grace. Who looks like the problem? You are using contrast. Darkness is most visible when placed next to light. Be the light, not because you are a saint, but because it is the most strategic way to expose their darkness. There comes a point where the only winning move is not to play. Machiavelli wrote about conserving the state's resources. There is no glory in fighting a battle that yields no profit. If a person drains your energy, stifles your growth, and brings you only misery, there is no strategy that will fix them. You must excise it, but you must do it correctly. Most people leave messily. They leave the door cracked open, just in case. This is not leaving. This is pausing the torture. The Machiavellian exit is total, it is cold, it is final, and it is silent. You do not announce your departure. You do not write a long letter. They don't care about your feelings. They only care that they are losing a possession. You simply cease to exist in their world. Block the number. Block the social media. Change the locks. When you disappear without a word, you rob them of their closure. Toxic people need the last word. Silence gives them neither. It leaves them with a question mark that will haunt them for years. Why did they leave? And while they are haunted, you are building. The best revenge is apathy and ascension. Succeed, get fit, make money, find love that is gentle and safe. Nothing burns a toxic person more than seeing their victim thrive without them. It proves their deepest fear. They were not essential. You were the sun. They were just a cloud passing in front of it. Now the cloud is gone and you are shining. So where does this leave us? We have walked through the darkness. Some of you might feel uncomfortable. Is this manipulation? Let me ask you a question. Is a surgeon cruel for cutting open a patient to remove a tumor? You have been a hostage to your own empathy for too long. Machiavelli wasn't a villain, he was a realist. He wanted to protect the state from chaos. You are the state. Your mind is the kingdom. When you adopt these strategies, you are not becoming a bad person. You are becoming a formidable person. There is a difference. A harmless person is not good. They are just helpless. A formidable person who chooses to be kind, that is true virtue. By learning the dark, you protect the light. But freedom has a cost. When you see the truth about human nature, the envy, the greed, the manipulation, it can be lonely. You will lose friends who only liked you when you were weak. You will stand apart. The air is thinner up here, but the view is clear. You are now awake, and you can never go back to sleep. The question is, what will you build now that you are free? If this opened your eyes, understand this is only what I can show publicly. There are videos I cannot upload for everyone. There are aspects of dark psychology that I simply cannot discuss publicly on this platform without being censored or demonetized. The algorithm suppresses the most powerful information. Those exist behind the join button. If you're still here, you're not like the subscribe if you haven't. But if you want what's hidden, click the join button and step into the architect level. You will unlock exclusive, uncensored videos that dive into the deepest parts of the human psyche. Most won't.